Stop these 7 sitting habits that shrink your muscles after 50. After 50, the way you sit each day can decide how strong, or how weak, your muscles will be in the years ahead. Most people believe exercise alone protects strength, but sitting habits matter just as much. Long hours in the wrong position quietly shrink muscles, weaken joints, and speed up aging. The danger is not just that you sit, but how you sit. Doctors warn that 7 common sitting habits slowly steal muscle without you noticing, leaving you stiffer, weaker, and more at risk of losing independence. The good news is, with awareness, these habits can be stopped today. If protecting your strength and independence matters to you, subscribe and join this community of people over 50 learning how to stay healthier every day. Share this video with friends or family, because avoiding just a few sitting habits could mean stronger muscles, steadier balance, and a longer active life. One of the most damaging sitting habits after 50 is simply staying seated for too long without standing or moving. The body is designed for movement, and when it remains still for hours, muscles switch off, blood flow slows, and the natural signals that keep tissues healthy are silenced. Over time, this habit leads to muscle shrinkage, stiffness, and weakness that no amount of occasional exercise can fully undo. When you sit for extended periods, especially in a chair that supports your weight completely, the large muscles in the legs and hips stop contracting. These muscles, including the quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, are critical for balance and mobility. Without regular activation, they begin to atrophy or shrink, which makes daily movements like climbing stairs, standing from a chair, or even walking more difficult. For seniors, this loss of strength can happen more quickly, as aging already reduces muscle mass. Prolonged sitting also affects circulation. When muscles are inactive, they do not help pump blood efficiently back toward the heart. This leads to slower circulation, swelling in the legs and ankles, and less oxygen and nutrients reaching muscle fibers. Poor circulation not only weakens muscles but also raises the risk of blood clots and varicose veins, common problems in older adults. With less blood flow, the repair of muscle tissue also slows, making recovery from even light activity more difficult. Another silent effect of sitting too long is on metabolism. Inactivity lowers the body's ability to regulate blood sugar and burn calories effectively. This increases the risk of weight gain and type 2 diabetes, conditions that further weaken muscles and joints. Seniors who remain seated for much of the day may feel more tired, even if they believe they are resting. In reality, their muscles are being deprived of the stimulation they need to stay strong. Breaking this habit does not require intense workouts. Simple actions can protect muscle strength and circulation. Standing up every 30 to 45 minutes, stretching the legs, or taking a short walk around the room is often enough to keep muscles active. Even gentle movements, like lifting the heels, flexing the ankles, or doing light chair exercises, can reactivate circulation and reduce stiffness. These small breaks signal to the body that muscles are still needed, preventing them from shutting down completely. For those who spend long hours at a desk, adding reminders to stand or setting a timer can help build consistency. Some seniors find it helpful to place frequently used items, like a water bottle or phone, slightly out of reach, encouraging them to stand and move throughout the day. The goal is not to eliminate sitting, but to avoid sitting without interruption. In summary, sitting for hours without standing or moving is one of the most harmful habits for muscle health after 50. It accelerates muscle loss, weakens circulation, slows metabolism, and increases the risk of chronic conditions. By breaking up sitting time with short, regular movements, seniors can preserve muscle strength, support circulation, and protect independence for years to come. Another common sitting habit that weakens muscles after 50 is slouching in the chair. It may feel comfortable in the moment to sink into the backrest or round the shoulders forward, but over time this posture does real harm. Slouching shifts weight away from the muscles that should be supporting the body and forces weaker muscles to take on the load. This imbalance gradually weakens the core, strains the back, and reduces stability. When you slouch, the abdominal muscles are no longer engaged. The core muscles, abdominals, obliques, and lower back work together to hold the spine upright and steady. But slouching allows the spine to collapse inward, leaving these muscles inactive. Over time, inactivity causes them to weaken, making it harder to sit or stand tall. A weak core increases the risk of back pain and poor balance, both of which are especially dangerous for seniors. Slouching also places stress on the spine itself. Instead of being supported by strong muscles, the vertebrae and discs are forced to carry more pressure. This can lead to stiffness, compressed nerves, and chronic discomfort. For older adults, who may already face age-related changes in the spine, slouching accelerates these issues and reduces mobility. The shoulders and upper back are also affected. Rounded shoulders pull on the muscles of the neck and upper spine, causing tension and fatigue. This not only weakens those muscles but also reduces range of motion in the shoulders. Seniors who spend long hours slouching often notice that lifting objects or reaching overhead becomes harder. Over time, the simple act of poor posture slowly robs them of strength and flexibility. Another overlooked effect of slouching is its impact on breathing. When the chest collapses forward, the lungs cannot expand fully, reducing oxygen intake. Less oxygen means less fuel for the muscles, both during the day and at night when repair takes place. Seniors who slouch regularly may experience more fatigue, as their bodies receive less oxygen to power recovery and daily activity. Correcting this habit is simple but requires awareness. Sitting with both feet flat on the ground, the back straight, and the shoulders relaxed but not rounded activates the core and evenly distributes body weight. Using a chair with firm support can help maintain good posture, but the most important factor is consciously engaging the muscles that hold the spine upright. Even taking short breaks to stretch the spine, roll the shoulders, or tighten the abdominal muscles helps retrain the body. Over time, practicing good posture not only prevents weakness but actively strengthens the muscles that protect the spine and core. Seniors who make this adjustment often notice reduced back pain, better balance, and greater endurance in daily activities. Good posture also improves breathing and circulation, two additional benefits that keep muscles stronger. In summary, slouching in the chair is more than just a bad habit, it is a slow drain on core strength, spine health, and overall muscle function. By sitting upright and supporting the body with active muscles, seniors can protect their strength, improve balance, and reduce the risks of weakness and injury. Crossing the legs may seem like a harmless or even comfortable habit, but keeping them crossed for long periods quietly harms muscles and circulation, especially after 50. What feels like a relaxed position actually creates imbalances in the hips, knees, and lower back. Over time, this habit weakens supporting muscles, reduces flexibility, and increases the risk of discomfort or injury. When one leg rests on top of the other, the hips are pulled out of alignment. This uneven position places extra pressure on one side of the pelvis, while the other side remains underused. As a result, the muscles around the hips and lower back become imbalanced. Strong muscles on one side work harder to support the body, while weaker ones on the opposite side become inactive. With time, this uneven workload leads to stiffness, poor posture, and reduced stability. The knees also suffer from this habit. Crossing the legs twists the knee joint slightly, straining the ligaments and muscles that stabilize it. For seniors, who may already have arthritis or age-related joint wear, this added stress accelerates discomfort. Keeping the legs crossed for long stretches reduces circulation in the lower limbs, increasing the risk of swelling, numbness, and even varicose veins. Poor circulation also means less oxygen and nutrients reach the muscles, slowing repair and making weakness more likely. Another concern is that crossing the legs shortens certain muscle groups, particularly the hip flexors. These muscles are already prone to tightness from prolonged sitting. Crossing the legs makes the imbalance worse, leaving the hip flexors shorter and the gluteal muscles weaker. This combination contributes to poor walking patterns, reduced balance, and higher fall risk. For seniors, these changes can be especially limiting, as mobility and independence depend heavily on strong hips and glutes. Even the spine is affected by this habit. Uneven hips caused by crossed legs can tilt the spine slightly, putting strain on the lower back. Seniors who spend long hours sitting with legs crossed often notice more back discomfort, especially when standing or walking afterward. What seems like a casual position slowly shifts posture and reduces muscle support. Correcting this habit begins with awareness. Keeping both feet flat on the floor evenly distributes weight and keeps hips aligned. Using a chair at the right height, so that knees are level with or just below the hips, makes it easier to resist the urge to cross legs. Seniors who find the position uncomfortable at first can add a small cushion or footrest for support. Simple exercises also help reverse the effects. Stretching the hip flexors, strengthening the glutes, and practicing posture checks throughout the day restore balance. Seniors can also stand up regularly to shake out the legs, improving circulation and preventing stiffness. These small steps ensure muscles stay active and aligned, even during long periods of sitting. In summary, crossing the legs too long may feel natural, but it silently weakens muscles, strains joints, and disrupts circulation. For seniors after 50, breaking this habit protects hip alignment, preserves balance, and keeps lower body muscles strong. Sitting with feet flat and evenly supported is a simple adjustment that pays long-term dividends in strength and mobility. Leaning on one armrest is another sitting habit that weakens muscles after 50. It often feels natural to shift the body's weight to one side, resting an elbow or shoulder against the chair. Over time, however, this uneven posture creates imbalances that strain the shoulders, weaken the core, and reduce overall stability. What seems like a small adjustment while sitting quietly works against muscle strength in the long run. When the body leans to one side, the spine is pulled out of its natural alignment. Instead of staying upright and supported by strong core muscles, the trunk tilts, and the core muscles on one side are forced to work harder. Meanwhile, the muscles on the opposite side relax and weaken. This imbalance leaves the midsection less capable of supporting daily movements, making tasks like bending, reaching, or lifting more difficult for seniors. A weak core also increases the risk of falls, which are already a major concern after 50. The shoulders and upper back are equally affected. Leaning on one armrest creates uneven pressure in the shoulder joints, causing one shoulder to elevate and the other to slump. Over time, this leads to tightness on one side of the neck and weakness on the other. Many seniors who lean this way develop stiffness, pain, or reduced range of motion in the shoulders. Weak or imbalanced shoulder muscles also make it harder to carry groceries, reach overhead, or push up from a chair. Another issue is how this habit affects the lower back. The tilt in posture places extra strain on the lumbar spine and hip muscles, increasing discomfort during prolonged sitting. For seniors with arthritis or age-related spinal changes, leaning on one armrest can worsen pain and accelerate muscle loss around the lower back and hips. Uneven posture makes the muscles less efficient, which means the body has to work harder during simple daily tasks. Circulation is also disrupted when leaning becomes a long-term habit. Uneven sitting compresses blood vessels on one side of the body, reducing blood flow to muscles and joints. This limits the delivery of oxygen and nutrients needed for repair and strength. Seniors may notice numbness or tingling in one arm or shoulder, both signs of poor circulation and nerve irritation caused by prolonged leaning. The solution is awareness and balance. Sitting with the spine upright, both shoulders even, and both arms resting equally keeps muscles engaged and aligned. If the chair has two armrests, use both evenly, or keep hands resting on the lap to prevent leaning. Adding a small cushion behind the lower back can also encourage proper alignment and make upright sitting more comfortable. Practicing light core exercises, such as seated marches or gentle torso twists, can strengthen the midsection and make upright posture easier to maintain. Stretching the shoulders and neck helps relieve tension created by uneven pressure. Over time, these habits restore balance, allowing muscles to share the workload evenly. In summary, leaning on one armrest may feel harmless, but it weakens core muscles, strains shoulders, and disrupts circulation. For seniors after 50, breaking this habit ensures stronger posture, balanced muscle use, and less discomfort. Sitting evenly supported allows the body to stay aligned, preserving strength and mobility for everyday activities. Chairs that are too low or too soft may feel cozy, but they can quietly weaken muscles after 50. When a seat is too soft, the body sinks in, forcing muscles to strain just to maintain posture. When a chair is too low, the knees rise above the hips, making it harder to stand up. Both situations reduce leg strength, strain joints, and increase the risk of falls. One of the biggest problems with sitting too low is the effect on the thigh and hip muscles. Rising from a low position requires more force from the quadriceps and glutes. While this might sound like good exercise, the repetition of struggling out of a low chair actually leads to fatigue and improper use of muscles. Seniors often push off with their hands or rock forward to stand up, which reduces activation of the leg muscles over time. Instead of building strength, the habit erodes it, leaving the legs weaker. Soft chairs present another challenge. When the body sinks deeply into cushions, the spine and hips lose stable support. Core muscles become less engaged, and the lower back bears more pressure. Over long periods, this posture leads to stiffness, weaker abdominal muscles, and an increased risk of back pain. For seniors, who may already struggle with posture changes due to aging, soft chairs only worsen muscle decline and discomfort. Circulation also suffers in chairs that are too low or soft. With the hips positioned below the knees, blood flow in the legs slows. This increases swelling in the feet and ankles and deprives muscles of the oxygen they need for repair. Seniors may notice their legs feeling heavier or stiffer after sitting in such chairs, signs that circulation has been compromised. Another issue is the strain placed on joints. Low seating forces the knees and hips into deeper flexion, which increases wear and tear on already aging joints. For those with arthritis, this position can be especially painful, leading to avoidance of movement altogether. Over time, this discourages activity, which accelerates muscle weakness. The solution begins with choosing proper seating. Chairs should be firm enough to provide support and high enough so that knees are level with or slightly below the hips. Sitting on a cushion can raise the seat to a healthier height, making standing up easier. For seniors, the ability to stand smoothly without rocking or pushing off with the arms is an important sign that muscles are being used properly. Practicing controlled sit-to-stand exercises can also help. By standing from a firm, properly positioned chair without using the arms, seniors strengthen the thighs and glutes directly. Repeating this movement a few times each day turns sitting into an opportunity for muscle maintenance rather than muscle loss. In summary, sitting in chairs that are too low or too soft quietly weakens leg and core muscles, reduces circulation, and increases joint strain. For seniors after 50, adjusting seating height and firmness is a simple but powerful way to protect strength, preserve posture, and maintain independence. Choosing the right chair turns sitting from a harmful habit into a neutral or even supportive one. Perching on the edge of a chair may seem like a sign of attentiveness or temporary sitting, but when it becomes a habit, it can slowly weaken muscles after 50. Unlike sitting fully supported, perching forces the lower back and core to work harder without proper alignment. Over time, this posture strains the spine, reduces core endurance, and leads to fatigue that undermines muscle health. When sitting on the edge, the body lacks full contact with the backrest. This means the spine is unsupported and must rely entirely on muscles for stability. At first, this may seem like good strengthening, but in reality, the muscles are overworked in an unnatural position. The abdominals tighten excessively, and the lower back muscles strain to keep the trunk upright. Over long periods, this imbalance leads to stiffness and pain rather than real strength. Another issue with perching is that it shifts body weight forward, often onto the thighs and knees. This uneven weight distribution increases pressure on the hip flexors while reducing engagement of the gluteal muscles. Hip flexors become tighter and shorter, while the glutes weaken from lack of use. For seniors, this imbalance makes it harder to walk with proper posture and increases the risk of falls due to unstable hips. Circulation is also affected. Perching often compresses the thighs against the chair edge, limiting blood flow to the lower legs. Reduced circulation leads to swelling, heaviness, and discomfort, all of which discourage movement. Over time, less blood flow means fewer nutrients reach the muscles, slowing repair and contributing to weakness. Perching also creates tension in the upper body. Without proper support, the shoulders often round forward, and the neck cranes slightly to keep the eyes level. This posture weakens the upper back muscles and contributes to stiffness in the neck. Seniors who perch regularly may notice more headaches, shoulder tension, or difficulty maintaining upright posture while walking. Correcting this habit is simple. Sitting fully back in the chair allows the spine to rest against the backrest, sharing the load between muscles and supportive structures. Keeping both feet flat on the floor and the hips positioned firmly in the chair provides better alignment. For seniors, adding a small cushion behind the lower back can improve comfort and make upright sitting easier to maintain. Strengthening the core in balanced ways is also important. Instead of relying on perching, seniors can perform gentle core exercises, such as seated marches or abdominal tightening while fully supported, to engage the muscles safely. Regular stretching of the hip flexors and strengthening of the glutes can also correct imbalances caused by years of forward-leaning posture. In summary, perching on the edge of the chair may look harmless, but it overworks the lower back, weakens the glutes, and reduces circulation. For seniors after 50, avoiding this posture protects the spine, preserves muscle strength, and ensures better balance. Sitting fully supported with proper alignment is a simple shift that prevents fatigue and keeps muscles healthier for daily life. One of the most overlooked sitting habits that weakens muscles after 50 is letting the feet dangle or keeping them from resting flat on the floor. Whether it's because the chair is too high or because of poor posture, this position creates instability in the lower body. Over time, it reduces muscle engagement in the legs, disrupts circulation, and increases swelling and weakness. When the feet do not touch the ground, the muscles of the thighs and calves are no longer active. Normally, these muscles provide subtle contractions even during sitting, helping to stabilize the body and assist circulation. Without that contact, the legs hang passively, leaving the muscles underused. This leads to gradual weakening of the quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves, muscles that are essential for walking, standing, and climbing stairs. Circulation is another major concern. Feet that dangle cut off some of the natural pumping action that occurs when the soles press against the ground. This action normally helps move blood back toward the heart. Without it, circulation slows, leading to swelling in the ankles and feet. Seniors may notice their legs feel heavy or stiff after sitting this way, both signs that blood flow is being compromised. Poor circulation also means muscles receive less oxygen and nutrients, slowing repair and recovery. The hips and lower back are also affected. Dangling feet tilt the pelvis slightly forward, straining the lower spine. Without stable grounding, the core muscles work harder to keep the body upright, but in an imbalanced way. This creates tension rather than strength, leaving the lower back more prone to discomfort. Seniors with arthritis or existing back issues often find this posture worsens their symptoms. Another problem is joint instability. When feet do not rest flat, the knees are left unsupported, creating strain in the ligaments and tendons. This can worsen knee pain and reduce stability when standing. For seniors, whose joints may already be fragile, this strain increases the risk of falls or injuries when transitioning from sitting to standing. Correcting this habit is straightforward. The most important step is adjusting chair height so that feet rest flat on the floor with knees at a 90-degree angle. If the chair is too high, using a small footrest or even a sturdy cushion under the feet can provide the necessary support. For shorter individuals, this adjustment is critical for protecting circulation and muscle health. Keeping both feet evenly placed on the ground also matters. Avoid tucking feet under the chair or stretching them too far forward, as both positions reduce proper muscle activation. Seniors can also practice light foot movements while sitting, such as heel raises or ankle circles, to stimulate circulation and keep muscles active. In summary, sitting with feet dangling or not flat on the floor quietly weakens leg muscles, reduces circulation, and strains the lower back. For seniors after 50, ensuring feet are firmly supported is a simple adjustment that preserves strength, prevents swelling, and keeps muscles engaged. A stable foundation begins at the feet, and with it comes better balance, stronger legs, and greater independence. Muscle loss after 50 is not only about how much you move, it's also about how you sit. Habits like slouching, crossing legs too long, or letting feet dangle may feel harmless, but over time they quietly shrink strength, strain joints, and reduce balance. The good news is that awareness changes everything. By adjusting posture, standing often, and keeping the body supported, seniors can protect muscles, improve circulation, and stay stronger for years to come. Every time you sit, you have a choice to weaken your body or to support it. Small corrections today protect independence tomorrow.